Many people fell in love with the show Invincible because of how shocking the first season was, which is why as soon as the first season ended, fans started begging for more. As of recently, Steven Yeun, who voices the super lad Invincible himself, sat down in an interview and talked about the upcoming season 2. So sit back and relax, as in this video, we'll talk about what the voice actor had to say about the show's popularity, starting off with the hype surrounding the second season. It's safe to say that the first season of Invincible on Prime Video quickly became one of the best superhero shows on the market. It was aimed at adults and had a lot of violent animated action, as well as a story about a superpowered kid growing up. The show also doesn't mind going in a different direction from the usual superhero stories. It also gave way to some of the funniest memes on the internet, thanks to how popular and unique the show really is. With the second season in the works, the animated show wants to up the ante in every way and become even more popular. As for the source material, the comic book by Robert Kirkman and Cory has a lot of material to work with. And guess what? The first season is only based on a small part of the comic book series. This leaves a lot of stories ready for a second season that's rumored to be bigger and bloodier. Now, if you don't believe us, Steven Yeun, who voices Mark Grayson, aka Invincible, recently talked about how excited he is for the next season. He also thinks that the show is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to adult animation, but we say that the series is already a good addition to the growing number of superhero shows. Up next, what did the actor have to say about season 2? We've already mentioned that the 8-episode installment only covers a small part of the original comic book run, but there are still big changes for the main characters and those around him. And now that everyone knows what Omni-Man really wants, a lot is at stake in the next season of Invincible. In a recent interview, Yeun revealed how season 2 would unfold and said that the show's creator, Kirkman, is very excited about the upcoming season. In fact, Kirkman thinks it'll be better than the first one, and Yeun agrees with him completely. And the Invincible star also added about the show's popularity that he didn't expect this level of response, but he modestly puts it down to the Americans' hunger for adult animation, which is really cool. And we don't think he's wrong. There's been an increase in mature animated content in mainstream media, including projects that aren't about superheroes. From anime that change culture like Attack on Titan to anthology shows that try new things like Netflix's Love, Death, and Robots. The medium is growing quickly. Still, Invincible's coming-of-age story is what makes it stand out in the more mature side of the superhero genre. Moving on to what makes Invincible unlike any other superhero show. Invincible isn't the only TV show based on a comic book that twists the genre, but what makes it different from the other violent shows like The Boys is that it focuses on developing a young main character in a rich, fully realized superhero world. In between the bloody capes and alien warships is a story about a typical teen who's trying to grow up quickly. Not only is it easy to relate to, but the stakes couldn't be higher for each person and the whole universe. As Mark thinks about how his existence could kill him, he has to fight his father, Omni-Man, who is a force of nature that can't be stopped. Kirkman said in an interview that the show is different from other superhero stories because we get to see him grow and evolve over time in a way that we'll never see with Spider-Man, Batman, or any other superhero in mainstream media. And that's true though. We haven't seen Spider-Man as a kid apart from his 2-minute appearance in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but that was different. It was basically a flashback scene. As the show goes through the long source material, which has a clear end, we see Mark going from being a child to a full-fledged superhero. And even in the first season, viewers can watch Mark grow and think about himself as he becomes the person he wants to be. The blood and guts that sometimes cover him from head to toe are just the icing on the cake of the animated show, which will only get crazier from here on out. We think if Invincible keeps getting bigger and more emotional, series star Yeun is probably right that the show's popularity will soar even higher. Finally, when is season 2 of Invincible coming out? Unfortunately, the creators of the show haven't revealed when the second season will come out, but it should come out near the end of fall 2022 or maybe the spring of 2023. So far, there's been no confirmed news as the second season is in the production process at the moment. In an interview, the show's director, Robert Kirkman, said that season 2 wouldn't take too much longer to come out. He also thought that things would get tighter in the next seasons, with less design and more action in the second season. Luckily enough, Amazon has also picked up a third season of the animated show, and from the rumors we've heard, it should be out by the end of 2023 or 2024. The official date is yet to be announced soon by Amazon Prime Video. Now, in other related news. Firstly, Invincible Season 2 villain Will is easily top Omni-Man's brutal fight. In both the TV show and the comics, one thing that makes Invincible stand out is how rough the superhero fights are. Even besides Besides his fight with Mark, Omni-Man was in some of the bloodiest fights in Season 1. Fans saw as he destroyed the Guardians of the Globe and then punched a hole right through a new version of the Immortal in the finale's epic showdown. There were also a lot of other hard-to-watch fights, like when Battle Beast almost killed Mark. Still, Omni Fights mans were the most brutal, and they couldn't be topped. However, Invincible Season 2's villain choice will be much worse than Omni-Man's fight. According to rumors and speculations, Conquest, a Virtuemite warrior like Omni-Man, is likely to be the bad guy in Season 2 of Invincible, and this puts Mark Grayson in trouble because of his strength and where he comes from. Even though the fight between Omni-Man and Invincible was brutal, Nolan Grayson held back his powers to try to get Mark to join his cause, and also because it's his son. But Conquest isn't blinded by his emotions and is weak in the same way. The bad guy in Season 2 of Invincible is completely loyal to the Virtuemite Empire and has no mercy for those who stand in his way. If Season 2 stays even a little bit true to the comic, Conquest will make Omni Fight mans look like child's play, as hard as that might be to believe. Come up, Kripke says his Sandman adaptation would have been a bad show. Not all of us know this, but Warner Brothers made a version of the Sandman more than a decade before Netflix did. Eric Kripke, who wrote The Boys, was hired by TV to adapt Neil Gaiman's popular comic book into a TV show, but in the end, the project was put on hold, and Kripke recently explained why that happened for the first time. He revealed that WB gave him a chance at the Sandman, but they said it had to be a network. Kripke also said on Twitter that it was his favorite comic book, and a big part of the hit show, Supernatural, was based on it. He added that Neil was nice and patient, but it wouldn't have been a bad show in the end. Well, at least he's honest. Kripke then raved about Netflix's version, calling the first season's 10 episodes, which came out on August 5th, lush and stunning. Lastly, The Boys teased the spin-off show Gen V with new images. As we've heard before, Eric Kripke has said that Gen V is a teen drama in the X-Men and the Hunger Games style. It'll follow a group of young adult supes as they go to the Godolkin University School of Crime Fighting to train and face challenges. Like the G-Men in the comics, the show will start with the characters trying to figure out college, but it won't be like a typical campus visit. And now fans can get their first look at how Godolkin University will look because Vought International's official Twitter account has shared some new pictures. The generous contributions of donors are said to be the reason why the student union and dorm rooms look so nice. They give people a general idea of what to expect in Gen V because they're big and detailed. Fans of The Boys might get sneak peeks of Gen V in bits and pieces, but the latest pictures of Godolkin University might signal that more content is coming. And that's all for this video. What do you think about Steven Yeun's comments on Season 2's enhanced gore and violence? What else do you expect from the upcoming season of Invincible? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more video of exciting content in the future. Thanks for watching and see you next time.